Hello?
Hello.
Weren't you talking?
I did not hear any sound.
Oh, weird. Well, I heard it.
Okay, welcome to the Not Nerd Podcast. I'm Nate Ethan. We are here to help you tech better. Here with me, as always, Mr. Dave Baylor with his pro tip of the week.
Before I do the pro tip, I want to make sure that you're hearing my sounds. Did you hear the pro tip sounder?
Let's see. Oh, the live stream's hearing it all, just me not getting sound effects. So.
Okay, well, as we go into the pro tip, I think I might know what's going on here. So
Nice.
My apologies to you, Nate. I'm going to enable
I should have just went with it when my face comes on the screen. I should know better.
No, it's all good. As soon as I figure out how to click the button to make two things, there we go. So for the third and final time.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now I got it.
Our software reset itself at some point. Regardless, pro tip of the week. We want to get into this podcast and we want to give you the information you need to be successful and to tech better. So this comes up at work a lot, Nate. People continue to send out mass emails with certain information. And there's a subset of employees who are physically, spiritually, socially, intellectually compelled to reply to every single group email.
Yes.
So how do you prevent this? You don't want to, call them out and say, hey, stop replying, or hey, here's an email to everybody. Don't reply, or reply only to me. Don't hit reply all. Well, there's an oft not implemented feature in any email client, and it's called the BCC.
Yes.
This isn't the British Communist Company. This is
oh yes, not that BCC.
Right. This is blind carbon copy. So what does that mean? Well, when you want to add multiple names to an email, it's called a carbon copy, a CC. Can you CC me on that? You've heard that. Well, a blind carbon copy has this exact same effect, but none of the recipients will know who else has been copied on this email. So when they hit reply, the only option is to reply to the original sender. So that's the tip. I did pull this up here, and I'm not sure where you and I are on this little window, but that's fine. The blind carbon copy, I just pulled up the article on Google support. Can you blind carbon copy email recipients without them knowing you have used this feature? Well, I mean, this isn't exactly what I was looking for, but it just talks about, it shows you what BCC looks like. You can use it. I don't want to bring up my email to show you. Let's read the article. Is there a way to blind carbon copy without them knowing you have details, etc.? I had the same question, and here's a reply. No, there isn't. Which email? Each blind carbon copy will see their own address and BCC, but no other recipient will see it. So this isn't exactly the help article that I wanted, but the point is use this feature, and it will increase the productivity of your organization. Because let's say you have 50 employees and you send out an all staff email, and it takes 1 minute to read that email. That's 50 minutes of productivity that your company is utilizing. Now let's say half of those people reply with, got it, bravo, will do.
Yeah.
Or here's a funny dad joke. So that's 25 people, each giving 50 people 25 more minutes of productivity loss. So that's 50 times 25, which it's like $1 billion or something.
Yeah, at least
$1 billion. And then somebody replies to a reply. So it just goes on and on. And so one email could be responsible for your organization of losing, who knows, 100 minutes, 200 minutes, 300 minutes of lost productivity, just wrangling, looking at it, not even replying, just looking at all the replies. Because was there something in there I need?
Yeah.
Somebody
Yes.
replied. It's got to be important to me. So anyway, blind
Yes.
carbon copy. Use it.
I know that in the distant past we have discussed
Oh yeah,
BCC. I
many
don't think
times.
it's been an official pro tip, but I do believe that we need to treat it as though nobody knows about it and remind them so often. And
Oh
Chris
yeah,
Kent did chime in the live chat and said, "Who's down with BCC? Yeah, you know me." And I
exactly.
replied, "Every last homie. If you are familiar with Naughty by Nature and their hit track, OPP from the 90s."
OPP. Yes.
Yes, which we will not get into that song any further. But yes, thank you very much for that pro tip. BCC is a wonderful thing,
It's
and
the
it
place to be.
it does boggle my mind in 2024 how those things still happen, and even when it's like a bunch of people's emails addresses are getting out there to people that shouldn't have
Well,
them,
that's a whole nother issue. The last time I brought it up, I think it was when my kid's school, accidentally did carbon copy instead of blind
Yeah,
carbon copy to like 150 parents. And, the header is like a mile long of
yes,
everybody's email addresses and their name and their personal info.
yes. And I will give a bonus pro tip. Use, if you have to email that many people, use a service like MailChimp, my preferred email service provider. For one, it won't get you into the spam filters as much. They have a lot of tools, and both Google and Yahoo Mail, surprisingly, are adding in a bunch of new stuff for, mass emails and making sure you have stuff set up correctly. So
Right.
yeah, this our school has a pretty good system, except for at the beginning of the year we were getting uh, one of the fourth grade classes. We were getting their emails, even though my daughter is in second grade. But yes, email, use it wisely,
Yeah,
please.
it's hard for some people, but
It is. It is. Well, I do have a hat on, Dave,
you do.
and the back there is a dark brown, and we'll do a little spin
Is it
to
leather?
a lighter brown. It is not leather.
Ah,
This is
pretzels.
pretzels, another Draplin design hat in my collection, one of many, a local Portland graphic designer and merch maker.
So
So
what is the significance of pretzels? Is there any, or is it just, hey, I like pretzels, I'm making a hat or a logo?
he'll just like randomly come up with ideas and make it. Maybe he really likes pretzels. I've got some pretty random ones, and yep, he just
Hmm.
likes things that end up as a good design. He'll throw a patch on a hat, and there's that.
Patch on a
Patch on a
hat.
hat.
Sounds like a book for children.
Yes,
And Nate,
yes.
not to be outdone, I am actually reusing my mug of the week. This
Ooh,
is um, the Disneyland mug that we featured on episode 412,
yeah.
uh, 20 or 12 episodes ago. So
Yes, indeed.
uh, I'd like to go back to Disneyland.
Yes. Well, 2024 can be your year for
You know what I ought
that.
to do? I ought to break my mug, so I have to go back to
Oh,
Disneyland to get a
yeah.
new mug.
There's no other way to solve
No?
that problem.
Well, it's probably the cheapest way.
Yes, yes, I like it. Well, let us get into some follow up. And I actually do have it here. My pick of the week last week, we kind of had some questions on it.
Oh, yeah?
The Bluetti power
Oh,
supply
yeah.
thing that came in handy during the power outage. And you were mentioning the Anker one. Anker, we
Right.
really like their company. Now, the comparable one from Anker is 300 watts, and mine is 600 watts.
Okay.
So theirs can get a max wattage of up to 600. Mine can go up to 1200. So a little bit more power. That I did see a video on Instagram today. Anker has like a whole home one, like a massive, the size of a dorm fridge.
Oh, gee, that's saying
But that
something.
That's not cheap. And I did also look, and they do have in their specs that it can be used as a universal power supply. You were asking about that,
Okay, good.
which we've talked a lot about in the past, but like the little box that your computer stays plugged into in case the power goes out.
Right.
So I don't really have anything that I need to have on a UPS, but I figure if I've got this thing, I might as well, plug some stuff into it and then it'll always be charged.
Right.
Those things will be protected. And then if I need it for something else, I can grab it and go. So
Very
uh,
good.
that was that. And then another thing, a couple weeks ago, I flashed this bad boy, which if you look at the number on there, that would be 8 terabytes with a T, a
Yeah.
Western Digital red hard drive that I had in my PC that I kind of use as a server file storage. It's kind of my NAS.
Right.
Um, but this thing, just one day, dead.
What?
Nothing. Can't get it to spin up at all.
That's
Something
less
went
than
wrong.
optimal.
Very less than optimal. Now, this was, when it died, it was in one of those Western Digital desktop, external desktop enclosures. So I
Right.
tried it in that, tried a couple things, tried connecting it directly to a computer. Um, I had it backed up to Backblaze because Dave,
Yeah.
one backup is none backup.
That's right, Nate. You can't move forward unless you back up. Behold the power of backup. And because I have it,
Air horn. Yeah, so now when I purchased this, it was a really good deal. Probably 4 years ago, we'll say. I've
mm-hmm,
lost all track of time and space.
it matters
But I
not.
bought two of them, and when I went into Backblaze to see what was on this disk and if I needed to pay them to like send me a drive or try to restore stuff,
Yeah.
everything that I needed on this bad boy was also on my other 8 terabyte drive
Okay.
because I am a firm believer that one backup is none backup.
That's right. Oh, did you want me to do do it
No,
again?
you're fine. I was just pressing you there, but
Well, you can't move forward unless you back up. Behold the power. Yeah.
but
Never
yeah,
gets
just
old
a
for me.
great reminder. Like your NAS, you have multiple drives and they're copied between each other, but then to also
Right.
have an offsite and to have multiple options, so that you're safe. So yeah, I'm tempted to like try to open this up just to see if there's like a stuck something, but that once you open up a hard
No.
drive, I watched some videos online. I follow some guys that do like heavy duty data recovery, like hey, this thing broke and we absolutely need this and we will pay
Right.
you any amount of money. This, I don't have to worry about that because I had it all on the cloud and on a second drive here. And then I just need to look at deals, which we were doing the other day
We
on
were.
new hard drives.
Well,
So.
let people know what we kind of found. It was, what was it, a 14 terabyte drive for about 150 bucks or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. The prices on spinning drives just keep coming down. I think you can get up to 20 terabytes, and there might be a 40 terabyte coming soon.
Holy
Those
cow.
get awfully expensive, but
Well,
for smaller drives and for SSD drives, if you don't need the amount of storage that, if you're not a digital hoarder, you can
yeah.
get like a 2 terabyte SSDs for like 150 bucks.
Well, it's the buy once, cry once with these Synology NAS or other
Yeah.
brands. Um, it's like it's so expensive. It's like it cost me hundreds of dollars to get a piece of equipment that has zero storage. Then I got to
Yes.
put drives in it.
Yes.
But once you do it and you get maybe some low capacity drives or some that you have laying around and you start using it, and then time goes by, you upgrade one of the drives, eventually you have a powerhouse of just terabyte upon terabyte of storage available to you. And you're like, how did I ever exist without this thing? And I'm thinking when we were looking that one of those drives that you were showing me has more storage than the four drives that I have back
In
here.
your NAS,
I
yeah.
mean, there's some redundancy in those drives, but still.
Yes, more than the average person needs, that is for sure.
Yeah.
Well, we are in the first month of the new year, and we had this happen last year or a lot more last year. But Amazon is eliminating hundreds of jobs at Prime Video and MGM Studios. If you remember the tech layoffs that happened in the first quarter last year, I
Yeah,
mean, everybody, Google, Facebook, Amazon, everybody was laying off tens of thousands of employees. But I thought this was interesting with Amazon in the video department that they're laying off right at the same time when they're going to start playing ads in the videos or make you
right.
pay more. So you would think they'd be making more money, but they're going to have less employees.
Who knows?
It'll
Uh, and
be good for the stock price.
and I'm going to apologize for seemingly being distracted. I'm trying to get something set up for the pick of the week. So if I'm
Ah,
not looking at you all the time, I'm listening and I'm participating, but
yes.
I'm
You're
looking for
also
something
fidgeting.
specific. Yeah. So my apologies, but
Yes, yes. And related to that on Amazon, we are recording on Tuesday, January 23rd.
yeah.
Dave, guess how many items I have purchased or how many orders I've had in 2024 in the first 23 days?
Well, last time you
It was
we
two
talked
weeks
about this,
ago, I
wasn't it
think.
zero?
It was at 0 2 weeks ago. So where do you think I'm at now?
I think you're still at zero, my friend. I think you have abstained from
I
ordering like crazy.
I have ordered zero things. Now,
That's
I will tell you
crazy.
this. Maybe after we get done recording the episode, I have several things in my cart, a few things that I need to purchase. Well,
Well, that's a
yes.
pro tip in and of itself, is
And
putting stuff in a cart.
yeah, yes, yes, and just having it there, and you can even do the save for later, so it's not actively in your cart. There's a couple things that I
Right.
found that I don't need, but then there's also a couple things, a video card I need to buy for a client, and a couple other things. But I just wanted to be able to brag that I made 23 days into the year without an Amazon
Well,
order.
I just had two delayed shipments arrive today, so I was opening up boxes of filament and a future pick of the week.
Ooh,
The
very
filament is
nice.
not going to be a pick, but
Yes, very cool. Okay, well, our next story. It's been a short while since we've had a Google's killing things off, the Google graveyard.
yeah.
But Google Assistant is removing these 17 features. Now, their excuse
Hmm.
is they're prioritizing the experiences you love and investing in the underlying technology to make them even better. But then they're getting rid of some, and they've got them listed here in this readwrite.com article. Um, the first one, playing and controlling audiobooks on Google Play Books with your voice. Seems like if you, does anybody use Google Play Books? Probably not. Setting or
Probably not.
using media alarms, music alarms, or radio alarms on Google Assistant. So I guess you can still set alarms, just not with media, cookbooks, stopwatch, using your voice to send an email and forgetting to use BCC.
Right.
But yeah, 17 features, and they want to focus on the AI and the Chat GPT like stuff that they have with their Bard service.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll become less functional, but you'll be able to ask it to tell you a story about capybaras or something.
That's crazy.
So
So, what does it cost them to leave a feature? I guess just people developing for it and fixing it and
yeah,
making it
I
work
don't.
well.
If they're already in there,
Yeah,
I don't know. They must just have some analytics that show that nobody's using these
that's
things,
probably
but
more the
that they're just cutting it to maybe streamline it a little better, make the code a little better as well. So,
right.
yeah, if you're a big Google Assistant user, check that article in the show notes and see if there's any features that you like that aren't going to be there anymore.
Hmm.
And our last piece of follow up, it was some of the buzz this last week. Apple might have sold up to 180,000 Vision Pro headsets over
Ooh,
the pre order weekend.
that
So there was,
is that's a lot. I mean,
that is a lot for a $3,500 device. I was curious, I was going to go back and look like the launch of the original iPhone, because people forget the first couple of years of iPhone, very few people got iPhones. I mean, there was a line at the AT&T stores of the diehards wanting one, but and that's a much different product than this because nobody's ever had, well, a couple people have used them, but nobody's owned these. And I stick with my thing. There are so many people out there, they're like, this isn't even a category. They'll probably discontinue this after a year.
No.
And Alex Lindsay, who I've mentioned before, he's very big into video and he's been doing 3D stuff and VR stuff for 20 years. He worked for ILM on some of the Star Wars movie stuff. This guy
Hmm.
knows what he's talking about. And he said they are not going to cancel this after a year. They've spent the last
Yeah,
10 years developing this product, and they've got a 10-year roadmap on where they want to get this product.
it's
This is
not going to
just
go away.
the first version that we have. And I did. Um, I checked in with my wife so she wouldn't be learning this on the podcast this evening. But Friday morning, I did wake up at 5. Well, I set an alarm for 4:55 and 4:58. Actually, I didn't create the alarms, they were already there from the iPhone pre order.
You just turned them
Uh,
on.
Turned them on so that Friday morning I was up at 5 o'clock. I went into the bathroom and turned the light on because I knew that I was going to have to do the face scan for the fit piece, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, the buying process, super simple. The tough part, I wanted to pick it up at the Bridgeport store just because I don't want to wait around all day for UPS whenever they decide to show up.
Hmm.
And at first, I was like, I got to the part where I got to select my time, and it was like 8:30, and I hit submit, and it's like this time is not available. So I go
Ugh.
back in. 9 o'clock, not available. 9:30, not available. 10
Oh,
o'clock, not available. So it was like real time changing these. So finally, I just said, okay, 2:30 p.m. So on February 2nd, 2:30 p.m., I will be going to the Apple Store to pick up my Apple Vision Pro.
that's amazing. And you've invited me to attend with you. So
Yes,
I'm
yes.
looking
Hopefully
forward
get
to
some
doing
video
that.
footage. I was trying to decide if you have the option if you want to go through like a fitting and tutorial with them there,
Hmm.
and do that. And that would be fun if you were able to capture some of that,
Yeah,
take some video or something,
I'm
but I don't know what
videoing the
the
whole thing.
setup is. Yes.
I'm going to have
Uh,
my Insta 360. I'm going to
oh,
have my
you're gonna have all
iPhone.
kinds of stuff strapped on you.
I'll have
We'll
my
make a
Faux Pro going. The whole deal.
Yes. Yeah. So more on that coming in. Is that next Friday?
I think it's next
Whew.
Friday.
Yeah. So that's next Thursday is the 1st of February. So next Friday, I'll be picking one of these up. Again, I like what they're showing with the spatial computing. I was imagining I could get rid of my extra monitor. I could get rid of stuff, simplify my desk, or just fill it with more clutter from Timu
That's
and then just
probably.
have a keyboard in my Vision Pro and just work away. So much more on that coming soon for
Yeah,
sure.
I'm looking forward to experiencing that with you because it's exciting. I mean,
Yeah.
this is the first new genre of products that Apple's released since what? I mean,
Apple Watch or the AirPods.
I was gonna say, yeah, like the over the head AirPods, but I mean, AirPods is probably the latest one.
Yeah.
So, oh, you just
Oh,
doxed your future
producer
location.
Todd. Yes, I did dox my location, so I will have security.
Well,
Producer Todd, maybe you can come be security for
yeah.
me while Dave captures, and we'll see if the not nerd protesters show up.
So,
Uh,
hypothetical, who do you think would win in a fight between me and producer Todd?
ooh, I
He's younger,
he's got a little height on you. He's got some reach. I
but
don't
they're,
see either of you as being fighters. You are a Kansas farm boy, though.
well, I got to tell you, I got some old man
Gun
strength.
show.
And
Whew.
here's my biggest advantage. I don't fight fair.
Oh,
I will bite, I will pinch
yeah,
things, make them pop. I will open jaws with my
yeah.
strength. I mean, It could
If
get
we
ugly
if
out
we
there.
get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm committing you and producer Todd
Cage
to a
fight.
live fight, cage fight on the show. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe on YouTube and get our subscribers up there.
Yeah.
Uh, yes, Chris says, "Don't you have a camo trucker hat? Might keep you safe."
Oh,
Oh, Chris, I have several.
that's true.
Yes, yes, indeed. Well, it is time for everyone's favorite segment, Just the Headlines.
There.
Oh,
Oh,
we've got a statue in the middle of the street.
why is it frozen?
The Wise Cam on the driveway. There
Come on.
is a mysterious person in the middle of the street.
Oh,
Oh, and they're gone.
it's synchronized.
Man, yeah, a nice. The snow is gone. The ice is gone. Things have warmed back up. It was actually kind of sunny today.
It.
Uh,
I was pleasantly surprised, honestly.
Yes, yes, it was a nice. I actually had the window open here to get some fresh air in after having everything locked down as possible for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you for the driveway cam there, and let us get into just the headlines. And quick note, the first one I might have said something about, we might have talked about this, but they've made it official now. So
Okay.
I wanted to say it again because it's ridiculous. Google now admits it could collect data in Chrome's Incognito
Always
mode.
has, always will.
SpaceX's new direct to cell Starlink satellites relay their first text messages.
Interesting.
Chicago public schools lost over 20 million with an M dollars in electronics in 1 year, report says.
Visibly shakes his head.
GameStop bails on crypto gaming, killing NFT marketplace.
Nobody's surprised.
Luminate's 2023 report, the global music industry passed 4 trillion with a T streams in 2023, a new record and up 34% year over year. Taylor Swift accounted for 1 in every 78 US streams.
And she was in my stream as well.
And those are just the headlines.
I thought there were more. No, that's it. That's it.
That's it. Oh, there's an extra line there.
Okay.
Yes, but
That's interesting. I was gonna say that it was me looping a particular song over and over again, but I couldn't. I couldn't remember what song that would be, but it would be Stacy's mom. Stacy's mom's got it going on over
yes,
and
she
over again.
does. Yes, she does. Well, on to our takes of the week. And the first one, so that you didn't have to, I watched This Week in Tech, the Twit Network's live coverage of the Samsung Unpacked 2024 event, where they talked a lot about Galaxy AI, their new S24 phones, including the Ultra, a very brief non explanation tease of a smart ring that they will be developing. So,
And
uh,
more.
yeah, as with everyone, they are going heavy into AI. They've got this new circle. What do they call it? Circle for search, which is actually circle to search with Google. So they are really pairing up with Google on a lot of the AI stuff. But my understanding of this is you basically press a button and an overlay comes on top of whatever you're doing on your phone, and then you can search AI, use AI, whatever, and then go back right into what you were doing, as opposed to a special app, separate app. They have live translate. They were demonstrating that like on a phone call where it would like live translate between two languages.
Look at this
uh,
guy.
oh yeah, he's got some goggles on.
This is the
uh,
Samsung XR.
XR.
Yeah.
Yes, they've got the Galaxy 24, 24 Plus, and 24 Ultra
Hold on a second.
phones.
Let's take a look. There's Apple's
Yes.
and there's Samsung's. I mean,
Yeah, it's got like a dome.
there you
It's
go.
got like a plastic batting helmet on top of the goggles.
Somebody who has a
And
thin
that's
skull.
part of their what wasn't announced at Unpacked
Oh, but
2024.
it's coming out though.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So
But this
they're
ring looks cool. What
yeah.
is it?
So it's
The
very
Ouya or
similar
the
to
Oya?
the Aura,
Aura ring exists.
Oura, I think it is.
Yeah, the Aura
Um,
ring. This is very similar to that. But the ring technology interests me because I typically wear a ring, one ring to rule them all.
yes.
You keep popping in and out of my screen. I'll go back
Oh,
to this view. Um, and Leo of the Twit Network wears one, but I think
yeah.
it'd be very interesting. Um, you got to charge your watch all the time, but if the ring would last like a month between charges and just leave it on all the time, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's hold on. I just got some severe music on my web browser there. But yeah, my sister-in-law actually wears one of the Oura rings. And yeah, it has a lot of the sensors similar to the Apple Watch where it'll collect all that data for you.
Yeah.
But they literally spent like 30 seconds on this. They showed a video of it and then they're like, thanks for coming out. No information about when, how much, what it'll actually do, any of that stuff is just like, hey, we're going to do one of these. Which why they wouldn't just buy Aura or something boggles my mind. But yeah, Samsung, if you're looking for the best in new Samsung phones with lots of AI stuff, the time is nigh.
And Todd was confused, thought this was Drone Dave here for a minute. But
Yeah, very close to Drone Dave.
I mean, we probably have the same power of picking up chicks, that
Yes,
same
yes.
vibe.
Street cred, street
Yeah.
cred. Dave, a little gaming story.
Mm,
I have not played this, but I saw it a couple different places. The new game Palworld.
yeah. I just watched a commentary video on this last night, and it's basically a ripoff of Pokemon, and they use AI to generate many of the characters which look
Ah,
exactly like their
yeah,
Pokemon counterparts. But
yes,
unlike Pokemon, you can have guns
yes.
and all kinds of other stuff.
Minor detail. So it is on stream. The Pokemon like this is their subheadline, word for word. The Pokemon like has sold over 5 million copies in the 3 days since its early access launch. Not their best writers on that one.
Yeah. Well, the
Um,
AI
but
wrote it.
but yeah, so it's
So it's
not
very,
Tears of the Kingdom numbers. It's not top, but for a small developer house to come out with a game and have it be that big that quick, and I'm sure the Pokemon likeness is helping along with that because people that play lots of video games, there is a overlap in the Venn diagram with
look at that.
uh,
They
Pokemon.
they were just rifling. Usually you catch them with a little Pokeball and they fight each other, which I never understood. Like the whole Pokemon universe, it feels like animal enslavement. And many of the Pokemon are sentient. Like one of them
How
is just
does
like a straight up guy or something.
PETA feel about
I don't
Pokemon?
know. I mean, I don't really care, but look, there's
Yes,
Pokemon. They're enslaving them, or I'm sorry, pals, not
yes,
Pokemon. That one's blocking bullets, and that one kind of looks like the Mario Kart shell. Oh, here he
yes,
electrocuted the water to kill all the fish. I
oh,
mean, what's not to love about this game?
yes. Oh,
Palworld.
well, real-time follow-up. I searched for PETA and Pokemon, and they have at games.peta.org,
Hmm.
they have the PETA's Pokemon Black and Blue Gotta Free 'em All game instead, Gotta Catch 'em All. So my intuition
Oh
kicks in
boy.
once again that PETA actually has. Maybe we'll just make that. We'll come back to that on the bonus odd take. Uh, that's that's a good one. Our next story. NASA finally unlocks canister of dust from 4.6 billion with a B year old asteroid.
Oh
So
my.
there's a lot to unpack. Like they're unlocking this canister. So after months of wrestling with the last two of 35 fasteners, scientists were able to remove dust from Bennu to examine. So they spent months. They couldn't get the canister open.
And they
Like,
don't want to mess it up and contaminate it.
yeah, so the samples collected in 2020 from the 4.6 billion year old asteroid Bennu, which is classified as a potentially hazardous because it has 1
Hmm.
in 1750 chance of crashing into Earth by 2300. Man, there's some space going on here. But it was collected by NASA's OSIRIS-REx mission.
Hmm.
But yeah, the
It's
canister
just been a
landed in
while.
September. They just couldn't. I don't understand NASA. Come on.
It's like my wife when she buys peanut butter. It'll just sit
Yes.
there locked until I come up and go, "Argh," that
Yes.
old man strength previously noted.
And it says, according to Los Angeles Times, the team designed custom tools made from a specific grade of surgical non-magnetic stainless steel to pry it open, all without the samples being contaminated by earthly air. 9 ounces of samples. So
Hmm.
um, if the Earth explodes, it's because they've opened up this sample finally.
Now, if people
And
don't believe we went to the moon, how do they believe we brought this back from an asteroid?
I, you said it. You said it. I'll leave it at that.
So why are we even talking about this? It probably didn't even happen. That's what
Yes.
I'm saying.
Yes, indeed. It's just some beach rocks,
Yeah, it's
also known
basalt.
as sand.
Those tiny little rocks you find on the beach, they're
Rocks
like
that you
really
find
small.
next to the ocean. Yes,
Yeah, don't
whatever
get
they
him near
call
Anakin.
those.
He hates those. So,
In this next story, this one cracked me up and many other people in the tech world. HPCO evokes James Bond style hack via ink cartridges. So HP has this old thing where they'll like brick your printer if you put a non-official cartridge in there.
yeah.
And HP CEO Enrique Lores addressed the company's controversial practice of bricking printers when users told them load them with third-party ink. He said, "We have seen that you can embed viruses in the cartridges. Through the cartridge, the virus can go to the printer, and then from the printer, go to the network."
Really?
So that's their excuse for not letting you buy cheap ink, is
Hmm.
that people could put viruses in an ink cartridge that would
Interesting.
infect your printer and then infect the network. Nobody really thinks this could happen, but
Well, I mean, it's.
any excuse for
I
him to
thought it
make
was
more
just
money.
a ploy to get more money, but now that I know that there could be viruses, I'm gonna thank this guy. I might actually send him some extra money. And hey, let's
Yeah.
not forget our chat.
Oh
Dr.
yeah.
RIPVHS says, "Oh my gosh, I thought that person on the street was." Oh, okay, we covered that one. And then
Yes.
Chris Kent says, "Did they try tapping it on the countertop?" Referring to the
Yeah.
NASA story.
Yeah.
Well, obviously they did not, and they didn't
I've got
ask
one of
me to
those
come.
gripper things,
Yeah,
the
those
little
rubber
like
things.
latex. Yeah, those
Yeah,
work really good. Hit a knife on around the edge to loosen it
yeah.
up.
That's
Oh,
always a good one.
I
There's
hope they
always
took video of the mess of them trying to get their own canister back open.
the
Uh,
technique of grabbing the jar and then hitting it with a
yeah.
knife like this, and all I end up
Oh,
doing is denting the top.
yes. Yes. Well, maybe we should be working for NASA. And one more
I'm not wearing my NASA shirt today. It's Las
yeah,
Vegas, baby.
security and privacy story. This one, I had to bring one back. It's been a while since we've talked about a breach. But the mother of all breaches, Moab,
Wow.
mother of all
Whoops.
breaches, reveals 26 billion, I just spit, billion with a B records, what we know so far. So, what this is, it's a data leak that combines 26 billion records from different breaches from LinkedIn, Twitter, Weibo, Tencent. All of this stuff has been put
Compiled.
into this Moab. And they
Hmm.
have a chart there down the page, brands with 100 million plus leaked records. Tencent with 1.5 billion, so all of
Wow.
China. Weibo with half a billion, so a third of China. MySpace 360 million, Twitter 281 million, and it just goes on and on. Adult Friend Finder, Zynga, some other non-appropriate websites, MyFitnessPal, Adobe. So all the data from all these major breaches all lumped into one huge leak of files,
Hmm.
which just a great reminder to use separate passwords on separate services so
Yeah,
somebody doesn't get this data and go, oh, he uses Smith1234 as his password on
yeah.
these three services. I bet it is for everything
Well,
else.
that's how they got into the 23andMe is somebody used their email with my dog's name 123 on Adobe, and they
Yeah.
also use it on 23andMe, and so they use the exact same credentials in both places, and that's how they got into
Yeah.
23andMe.
Yes, and we've got some follow up from producer Todd on the HP story. This week, the HP CEO just admitted that subscription printing is there so they have a business model. Our long term objective is to make printing a subscription. Every time a customer buys a printer, it's an investment for us, Laura said, per ours. And if the customer doesn't print enough or doesn't use our supplies, it's a bad investment. Find a better business model. And then he chimes in on the data breaches. Per the data breaches, I didn't see Facebook on that big list, which is interesting. Yes, they are not
Hmm.
on the. Did you hack our show notes, Todd? He is getting these articles in real time.
Well, you
Oh, or yes,
probably
he watched it on
shared.
the screen. You
He
were
is a
watching it on the
producer. We
screen.
probably should share
Well,
the document with him.
we should. But yeah, I don't see Facebook, and it was only the ones over 100 million, so maybe they came in
Mm.
under that amount.
Yeah.
But Zing is on there, and Evite. Oh my goodness. Well, let's go to the
Hmm.
bonus odd take, and yeah, I'm calling an audible. We're gonna go back to PETA's games.peta.org
Okay,
is
let
going
me
to
get
be our
into
link
that here.
here. I'll put it in the show notes for you.
Games.peta.org.
Yes,
Probably
they have
misspelled it.
got
Okay.
Kitten Squad
Hmm.
on Nintendo Switch and or PlayStation 4. Whole Lot of Lies, which is very similar to the Whole Foods logo. Monkey Fright. Now, I will give a disclaimer. I am not a supporter of PETA, and I will remind people we are the most nonpartisan tech podcast on the internet.
True.
And not that this is PETA, but I really enjoy eating meat. But this is wild how much time they and money they have spent creating games.
Well, looking at the logos, I'm not sure they spent too much money.
Well, yes. They have two different Pokemon games, Pokemon Red, White, and Blue, a PETA
How
parody.
they can't use
Pokemon,
Pokemon, the word in a parody. It needs to be like
yeah,
Porkymon or I
or
don't think they can use
Palworld,
the copyrighted word.
Super
Or
Tofu, Super Chick Sisters. There was a ton of games.
Mario kills Tanuki? Oh my gosh.
J-Lo Monster in Fur game, Fast Food Nation game. This is who knew? I don't know that I've ever been to PETA's website before, but man, this is wild. Now,
Play.
can
Oh,
you actually
I'm gonna play this super
Super Tanuki skin?
2D skin.
We might get a violence flag on this.
Yeah, I so they're against violence against animals, yet they're showing a lot of violence
Yeah.
against animals.
Oh, I'm gonna play Super Chick Sisters, which are two Mario Brother hat wearing chicks with mustaches. I like
Wow.
that. I don't know how I play so much.
I'm traumatized by this.
Start game. I'm gonna be,
Was it Chick Sisters you were playing?
yeah. Oh man, there's some cut screens, and now I'm to the game, and it's a lot like Mario.
Huh.
Looks like a fun little game. So yeah, if and the website for Super Chick Sisters is mccruelty.com. PETA, man, they are so angry.
Or I see KentuckyFriedCruelty.com. They must have more than
Okay.
one URL.
Yes, I'm sure they have plenty. PETA, they are out there trying to save the animals, which yes, I do like animals, and I also like eating many animals. So we'll leave that at that.
I finally got loaded here. How do you jump? Spacebar?
Well, and
Oh,
before you
push
get
up.
too loaded, it's time for our picks of the week.
I need. We used to do the echo, Like say it again. Say picks of the week again.
Picks of the week.
So it does work, but maybe we just need a sounder to
Yes.
make our
Yes.
life
And
easier.
oh,
So
we've got some other quick comments. Chris saying that's what happens when you don't get enough animal protein. True. And Todd, it's so nice in this completely polarized world to realize that everybody hates PETA.
I mean, does everyone?
Well, not PETA.
PETA loves PETA. I
Yes.
mean, I love the food product called PETA's, but
Yes. Different spelling.
different, I suppose. So I want to talk to you about my pick of the week this week.
Yes,
If you
please do,
recall,
because you just put a very long part number in the show notes, so I do not know what you're coming at me with.
well, if you knew anything about anything, you would. But you may recall your lovely wife got us the
Oh yeah,
wonderful. What are these? What's the name again?
game thing or
The
something. I
game
forget.
handheld
Yes.
system. Very fun, very lightweight. It's got 400 games, many of which I was going to do a follow up with you to see if you'd played any of them. Many of which I've gone through and played. I've enjoyed my time. Now, I will say, with such I'm assuming lower cost device, it doesn't have an SD card, as we discussed. You can't put your own games
Yeah.
in it. You're stuck with the
Yeah.
400. And the screen is, I mean, it's not the best quality. There's that off axis
Yes.
glare you
Yeah. You
get on a
can't play
low
it from the
quality
side.
screen. But I mean, it's fun. You throw
Yeah.
this in your bag. You want to play Dig Dug, whatever, you're good to go. Some of the games are funny because it's like Contra 5, and it's like, I don't think there was any Contra 5 on the
Yeah.
NES.
I wonder
And
if
you
they
do
have
it,
any of the PETA games
yeah,
in there.
but it's like level 1 or level 8 or level
Yeah.
5 of Contra or something like that. It just throws you right into that level. And it's
Nah.
like, what's
Okay.
happening here? They 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 kind of flubbed a little to get to 400 games, And
Yes.
what I was trying to do when I was distracted was to find a game that was on Game Master
Yeah.
2000. Uh, and my new product that I purchased, shout out to Jared Butler, a friend of the show,
Oh
who
yeah.
got the Ambernick RG35XX. Well,
Oh.
I'd been contemplating for a long time about getting such a device, and he got one, and we chatted a little bit about it. And I wanted to save this for the show. I don't know if he watches anymore, but I got the Ambernick RG35XX Plus.
Whoa,
Very
wow.
similar
Yeah,
to uh,
the upgrade.
Cyber Game 2000.
Yeah,
You will notice that the screen looks very good
yeah,
on
wow.
and off axis. It actually, I didn't think it would come, but the operating system that comes on here is not that great. But it comes with lots of games, not not Contra 5 for NES,
Yeah,
like legit games. Like let me go back here. So the game systems. Let me go back again to another screen here. I know this is a great demo here, especially for those listening. So you've got your NES, you've got your, I don't
oh,
know,
wow, multiple
it's
gaming
got
systems.
Dreamcast, PlayStation 1, a bunch of arcade games, uh, Game Boy Advanced, the Super Nintendo,
Wow.
the Nintendo Genesis, Game Gear. And if you go into any one of these categories, there's a sample of games. Some of the systems have like 100 games on there.
Huh.
So I've had a lot of fun. And what you can do, since it's like an Android device, actually, I think it runs Linux,
Mm.
um, you can install your own operating system, and there's a very popular one. There's Onion for the MIUI Mini series of handhelds, and there's Garlic OS for this particular one. And I'm waiting for them to tweak the Garlic OS so that it works with the Plus model. I think
Yeah.
it doesn't work quite with the Plus model yet since it's a newer product. So anyway, that's my pick of the week.
Very
These guys
nice.
run about, depending on where you get them, they're about $75, $80,
Okay.
which is a very good value. One other thing that they have, so that you can play many of the PlayStation games and stuff, is they have
Oh,
the
the extra
shoulder.
buttons.
Yeah, and the
Oh.
difference between mine and Jared's is this one is a little bit bigger, so
Ah.
that it's you'll notice that the size of these are about the same, but I
Yeah.
think the RG35XX Sans Plus is just a little bit smaller than this. So,
It looks like they have a million models because I was trying to look up our other devices and I see the RG353V, I see the
yes.
35XX, the 353VS.
And they have
There's a
one
lot of
that
options on those.
is more like a Nintendo Switch style. Come on.
Oh.
I'm not I'm not doing the thumbs up. But it's more where the controls are on the side and the screen's in the middle. And this one's more like a Game Boy where the controls are on the bottom. So more like a Game Boy Advance, I guess.
And I
They have
did
those.
check, your fireworks did come through on the live streams,
Nice.
so everybody got to enjoy that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if
Doesn't work for you.
mine. Come on,
Isn't this dumb? Or just
it used.
why
Yeah.
does it work sometimes but not others? Oh,
Oh, there's
okay.
some confetti. Ah, that's
Whatevs.
fun stuff. Well, very nice. My pick of the week. Now, I was going to pick something that I got this year for Christmas,
Okay.
and it was somewhat related to this product. And I thought for sure that I had picked this before, but I could not find it in our show notes on the website. I did a full database search of the website, so I don't think I ever did pick it. And it's this device right here. Now, you might be wondering what that is.
Looks like
Well,
a pill bottle.
yes, you take this, you flip it over, you would
That actually looks like something else. But
fill this with water,
okay. Oh my.
and then you flip this up, and
Oh, is
it's
this
a
a
water
water
flosser.
pick?
Yeah, so it's a travel water pick. Now, my
Hmm.
mom had one of these. Do you remember me ever showing one of these before?
No. I remember your mom, but I don't remember ever
Yeah.
showing this thing.
So she got one of these, I think, and then she got me one a couple years back. And you can get the water pick brand ones, and those get pretty spendy.
Hmm.
But these ones, it's really nice, and there's a bunch of different ones. I actually found this one, sadly, if oh, there's still a little water in there because I do use it. I thought I emptied it out. It's got a weird proprietary charging plug on there.
Yeah.
I did look, the one that I'm going to put up on notpicks.com, it's the same brand, YaFex, and it
Hmm.
will be USB-C. But this is the YaFex Water Dental Flosser Teeth Pick, Cordless Portable Oral Irrigator Rechargeable Collapsible Mini Irrigation Cleaner with case, 4 modes with DIY IPX7 waterproof travel floss for teeth cleaning with 4.4 stars on 6,493 ratings.
Hmm.
Now, Dave, what would you pay? Have you purchased a lot of water flossers in
So
your
I
lifetime?
I do have a water pick I bought a few months ago, and I don't know why I never
Ah,
used it as a pick of the week. And I use it fairly regularly.
yeah.
And I got to tell you, when you first use one of those things, if you haven't been to the dentist in 4 years like me,
Yes.
uh,
Tender gums.
tender gums, but they
Yes.
strengthen up after a while. Uh, that's beside the point. And if I recall, my water pick, which is it had high reviews. It's this high, but you can take the top off, and there's a tank, you know, and you can put the picks on. It doesn't fold
Not
and do all
travel
this
mode.
origami stuff like yours does. But I think it was around $18 was
Hmm.
what it cost me. $15 to $18. So, what would I pay for yours?
Yeah.
Since it's a travel version, I'm going to say $22.95.
Not too bad. Not too bad. It is listed at $29.99 with a
Ah,
$3 coupon, and
close.
there are several models around. But yeah, I rarely travel with it, but
Mm.
to have here, and as a teaser, next week's pick of the week will be a similar type product
An
that we'll be
an
talking about.
oral
We're all about
irrigation product?
yes,
Interesting.
yes. Well, possibly, possibly.
I don't
But
love that term, by the way. Oral
no, no.
irrigator.
And I'm sad to say on our Ramazon purchase of the week, I I can go in and I see the reports that
Hmm.
people are clicking on stuff, but it just says that there's some errors on there. So I think they're having some temporary database issues. So make sure you use our Amazon links to kick that back into gear.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know why it's just not showing up on there. But hopefully we'll have another Ramazon purchase of the week because we love it when you guys go to notpicks.com, pick up some of our previous picks,
yeah.
or just before you go to Amazon, go over there, look around a little bit, click the Amazon link. We've got some other affiliate links there too to
Hmm.
help support the show so that we can, well, we're going to keep doing this either way, let's be honest, but so
True.
that we can buy more stuff
Yeah.
if we start making a lot of money on there.
Well, I always look at it as we we will go negative less
Yeah,
if people
yes,
purchase things
less negative.
less negative. Yeah.
Let's get that into the positive so that we can get Dave a Vision Pro this
Oh,
year.
oh my. That would be quite the sales if that were the case at
Yes.
$3,500.
Yes, indeed. Well, that wraps up this week's episode. We will be live again next Tuesday. Make sure you like, make sure you comment on YouTube. Um, go on the social medias, talk to us, ask us questions. I know that you have tech questions that you're wondering about, and
I
probably even
do.
product purchases that we've researched, you and other people, Dave. Um, but join in on the live show. It's always fun to have you guys in here commenting with us. It adds another layer of funness
Hmm.
to the Not Nerd podcast. So spread the word, get out there, and tech better.